right, gang, welcome in. Quick video. We are going to rip through the Jets schedule that was released. It actually got leaked earlier in the day. It was confirmed by the Jets later on in the day, but I want to give you my thoughts about the schedule overall, what my record prediction is going to be, and just overall thoughts in general, I guess. First off the bat, Jets have a lot of 1 o'clock games. This is huge. It's really nice. I'm done with the primetime games over the last few years. When the Jets were potentially going to compete for a Super Bowl, I was all about the primetime games. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you want to do it on the biggest stage. I was all about it. My expectations, nowhere near where they were the last 2 years. And I'm hoping for wins across the board here, but expectations much lower. I like the 1 o'clock games, kind of hide us away. We got 2 primetime games, 3 standalone games total. Monday night versus the Dolphins. We have a London game versus the Broncos, and we have a Thursday night game versus the Patriots. So those are our only non-1 o'clock games. So I'm pretty happy with this. As we go through, September 7th, Steelers home opener. This was like telegraphed. Rodgers potentially going back to the Steelers. Fields going against his former team in Pittsburgh. I think just makes a lot of sense. Jets might be able to get lucky and catch a win here early on in the season before the Steelers sort of figure it all out. But the same can be said for the Jets. New coaching staff, new quarterback and whatnot. Steelers, I think, are the better team across the board, so it might be rough to start out the season. Week 2 versus the Bills, I don't see the Jets winning this game. I think the Bills are the cream of the crop right now. Week 3 and 4, 2 games in Miami, or 2 games in Florida, rather. The first one versus the Buccaneers, week 3, and then we got the Dolphins Monday night, week 4. I think those are probably both losses, although I do think Miami plays the Bills week 3. And I feel like that might be a Thursday night game. So maybe there's a situation where the Dolphins are like tired from like a division rival matchup, and they kind of overlook the Jets, and maybe you can catch them sort of sleeping on Monday night. But they're going to have extra rest as well. It's like a little mini bye before they play the Jets. I think, if I have my schedules correct in my head. I feel like I looked that up. But that could very well be a loss too. Dallas week 5. Dak Prescott, that team is really good. It's a little bit of a Schottenheimer-ish revenge game. Brian Schottenheimer, head coach of the the Cowboys, used to be the Jets offensive coordinator back during the glory days of 2009, 2010. Again, I think Dallas is the better team right now. Denver coming over to London with the New York Jets. This is a Jets home game technically, so we lose one of our 9 home games we would have had for this season for that London game. For whatever reason, the Jets just don't travel well to London. Normally, I would say a West Coast team going east is going to have a little bit of a lag. Them going way east, going over to London is an even bigger time jump. So maybe there's some degree of a lag there, but I do think the storyline is going to be Bo Nix in his second year, Sean Payton, the guru, versus Aaron Glenn, the guy who coached underneath him, a little bit of camaraderie stuff there. I do think the Broncos will wind up beating the Jets there. The Panthers, I thought, got better at the end of last season. I'm not like a big Bryce Young fan by any stretch of the imagination. I think this is a winnable game for the Jets, but coming home after the London game, teams generally go for the bye week after London, and the Jets were like, nope, we're not doing it. We're going right into the Panthers. So maybe that's a little cockiness, and we'll be able to figure it out. Hopefully we can win that game. But I'm less optimistic based on how their season kind of finished out. At the Bengals, just before the bye week, this one's probably going to be a loss. I don't think Burrow, Chase, and Higgins are going to be held down. If their defense gets any better this year, it's going to be a very tough team to compete with. Week 9, we got the bye week. I like having a bye week in the middle of the season. It really gives you a nice little reset. That is actually my birthday week, so I can kind of give myself a little bit of a break during the season, and yeah, it is what it is. So a little break halfway through the season. And if I had to predict what the Jets would be at the bye, I mean, if you could get to 4-4 at the bye week, I feel like you're probably feeling pretty good about yourself. The most likely games you could probably pencil in potentially as wins would be the Panthers, the Broncos, maybe the Dolphins on Monday night, and maybe the Steelers. Like that's like I feel like a probably pretty optimistic viewpoint. I think it could very easily be like a 1-win first part of the season, and then at that point everything starts spiraling. So we'll see where that kind of goes. I think the 26th, that week 8, is that the trade deadline? I feel the trade deadline might be the following week, so we might be able to play the Bengals and then figure out the trade after that. Coming out of the bye, you got the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco's over there. Does he wind up being the quarterback? They got Shedeur Sanders. They got Dylan Gabriel. There's like a Kenny Pickett's over there. They got so many quarterbacks. They don't have any. Deshaun Watson's not playing this year. I think the Browns are going to be, I don't want to say a pushover, but I don't think they're going to be a very good team. I think that's a fine game for the Jets to get coming out of the bye. And maybe you can actually win a game coming out of the bye. I don't think we've won a game off a bye week in did we ever win with Saleh as the head coach? I don't know if we did. Then you got short week. Then we go on the road for the Patriots, Thursday Night Football. I do think the Patriots got a lot better. I like their free agency. I like their draft. I like the coaching additions they have. They have 4 former head coaches on their coaching staff. I think that's going to be a really well-coached team. I have this penciled in as a loss for the New York Jets. Then you got week 12 versus Baltimore in Baltimore. Raise your hand if you think they're winning. No, I don't think we're winning that game. Unless Baltimore totally overlooks us, they should steamroll us. Hopefully that's not like a 50-point kind of game and we're not turning it off by halftime. Baltimore, that week is the day after Matt O'Leary's wedding. So I'm going to be shot. So hopefully I don't have to put too much energy into that game. So I don't know. Matt gets a nice little lead up to his wedding with the Thursday Night Football the week before. And, the Ravens, it's the day after his wedding. But, congratulations, man. Atlanta Falcons. This is the Jeff Ulbrich revenge game coming up to MetLife. I'm not super high on Ulbrich being a head coach. If he's going to show the traits he showed as the Jets head coach, then I would expect the Jets to win this game. If Michael Penix takes a leap forward, who knows? I do think they have some talent on that offense, but they added a lot of pieces on defense that may not just be ready yet. So this could be a win for the New York Jets. Dolphins at MetLife, December 7th. Hope for some cold weather, right? The Dolphins don't play well in cold weather. Getting them at least closer towards the cold weather part of the season is kind of nice. Again, probably a coin flip. I could see us splitting with Miami. Jacksonville, I think Jacksonville should have gotten better. I feel like I say this every single year, and they always wind up doing their Jacksonville Jaguar thing and not being better. They just, for whatever reason, they're consistently us, the Broncos, and the Jets, or the Jets, the Broncos, and the Jaguars are always third or fourth in the division. We wind up playing them every single year. If Liam Cohen can kind of turn that offense around, it's going to be a very tough task. So I could see that being a loss. Then the Jets go into the Christmas week of December 21st, going against New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. They don't have a quarterback right now. Derek Carr just retired. They got Tyler Shuck and they got Spencer Rattler, right? Are those the two? Or is Rattler go to Vegas? No. I think they're both still there. I think that's who. I think they got Rattler and I think they got Shuck. But either way, I think this should be a win for the New York Jets. I think the Saints are going to be arguably in contention for the number 1 overall pick this year. So I think the Jets should be able to win this one. December 28th versus the Patriots at home in MetLife. I don't have a good feeling about the Patriots. I don't know how to quantify it other than that I think they got a lot better. And I'm not so sure I feel the same confidence level in our Jets the same way yet. But maybe we're playing a little bit of money ball and we're gonna surprise ourselves. And then week 18 versus the Buffalo Bills, in Buffalo, this game's going to be minus 15 degrees. It's going to be absolutely miserable. And I don't think the Jets win this game unless Buffalo is not fighting for playoff seeding. If they are they clinch the 1 seed, or if they can't move up or down the playoff seeding, then they might rest starters potentially. If they rest starters, it's going to be one of those situations where the Jets have 6 wins on the season, and then they accidentally win another win, and then we're in the middle of the first round. That would be a very Jets thing to have happen. But if they are contending, then I think the Jets probably lose this game. Now, in my mind's eye, I'm probably saying my low end of wins, probably 4. My high end of wins is probably 7. I'm talking Jets show. I was overly optimistic, and I'm saying 7 wins. I think the Vegas 5.5 is probably a pretty decent line. I would take the over on that. 6 wins is kind of where I had us penciled in before going through the entire schedule. But guys, let me know your thoughts. What's the scale from lowest wins to highest wins? Where do you kind of see? Are you just 17-0? Here we go until otherwise proven. I'm down with that. I'm cool with it. I'm just not letting my expectations get overly high. So guys, like I said, week 1, Pittsburgh Steelers. that could very well be our group bye. We'll let you guys know as we get closer to that like June time period when we can pick our group bye. But it sounds like that weekend, September 6th, September 7th, we're going to have a lot of fun stuff going on. Myself, O'Leary, and Green Bean. Looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets. Jets!